Hello, everybody. Welcome to the R Show. We're sorry a little late. Our guests took a little bit to get home, and we wanted to give them the time that they needed. We are having a discussion on FBA today with Gillmans, aka Gill Daddy, Gill Mama, Gillmoney, however you like to call them, or however they accept to be called. We have with us, of course, my co-host, Cool Toads.
Last virus database has been updated.
All right.
Oop. Sorry. I had an issue. What was that?
John?
I heard my name. Someone said hi.
You're not going to your spiel?
Oh, yeah. I'm Cool Toads. You can find me on Cool Toads here on YouTube. Also, Cool Toads Pad on Facebook. And also on the Toadcast, which apparently I need to clear up a little bit. The Toadcast is more of a show for everybody to let their hair down, like you're sitting at a bar chatting and talking. We still have a little bit of rules, no straight out offensive, racist type remarks and things like that. And we treat the ladies with respect, like they should be treated. Outside of that, it's pretty much no holds bar, whatever goes on. So, yeah, there is a little bit of content in there, mixed in there, but it's mostly just to kick back, let your hair down, clear your mind, do whatever when you're going into the weekend and having fun. So, just wanted everybody to know that for sure. If you see my other videos on my channel, those will have content. Regular videos will have content. So, anyway. Oh, yeah, Toadcast is 5 o'clock Pacific on Friday nights. Yup.
And the Gillmans. With your introduction for people that don't know you.
Hey everyone, I'm Gill Daddy, it's Gill Mama. We have a YouTube channel. It's Gill Daddy, Gillmoney, Gill Mama, really any of those.
You will search for any of them, pretty much, and find us.
And yeah, we sell on eBay and sell on Amazon and do FBA and private labeling, and we do a lot of different stuff. And we just got a warehouse, and we've been working out of a warehouse lately. So we've been in there not quite a month yet. So just a little under a month we've been in our new warehouse. It's been awesome.
Oh, that's good today. You guys got at the warehouse. I know you talked about it a couple weeks ago on the meet and greet. I know a lot of people have been wondering where you guys have been, so I'm glad that you were able to make it tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
My first question. Go ahead, Sarah.
We've just been doing a lot of focusing on our personal lives and the non-virtual aspect of our business, and we've got a lot of stuff we want to get done. We're trying to up our game.
You guys worn out and tired yet already from moving and doing all this stuff?
You know what? It's really nice to have somewhere outside of the house. It's nice to be able to go to work because we can still go when we want, come home when we want, and it's nice to have that outside place.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been great.
Well, before we start getting into your questions, I do want to finish off one thing that we started last week. We had Caesar on with the HTML. He was giving us at a prize an Elsa Anna Frozen Dolls dual pack, and the phrase of the day was "at the end of the day." The winner, we had 19 people that made the comments on the feed in the group, and the winner is John Pacey, P-A-S-E-Y. So if you're watching, John, get a hold of me or Caesar, and we'll work our way at getting you your prize. I just want to get that out before we.
Dog.
Well, I want to get that out of the way before we got into the topic and everything else, so I know how we can get talking and forget some things. All right, my first question is, where did your name Gillmoney actually come from?
Well, it's kind of a long story. I've always had the nickname Gill Daddy. She had kind of got the nickname Gill Mama. And when I was in the military, they would call a motor sergeant a motor daddy, and it's basically the sergeant that was in charge of the motor pool was called a motor daddy. And I at the time I was the sergeant in charge of the motor pool, so everybody started calling me Gill Daddy. And when they come over to our house and hang out, they call her Gill Mama. So we just kind of got these nicknames, and I just always used the name Gill Daddy. And I really didn't. It's kind of like most of the people that make YouTube videos. You know, I don't think when we first start making YouTube videos, we don't think in the future like, you know, like I know like Ronnie was a Hart's Motor Company or something. You don't really pertain it towards picking. At least I never did. I just kind of put my nickname Gill Daddy on there, and it just kind of spread into Gillmoney and Gillionaires and Gill anything you could put.
Billionaire, I like that. It's cool.
But it's just a fun nickname that it's just kind of spread into other stuff, you know.
Well, and my next question is, how long have you been reselling, and what actually got you started in it?
We've been doing it off and on since about 2000, and when we first started, we just sold on eBay for extra money when he was in the military. It was just, we had fun going out to yard sales and stuff on the weekends, and I mean, this is back when eBay was money orders, concealed cash only, and PayPal didn't exist, and there were no buy it nows. It was auctions only, and you couldn't research unless you went home on a computer. But it all started out just for fun, and we started doing it full time. He started before I did, when I was still working, and eventually he just told me to stop working too, and we both have been doing it ever since.
Sean, you want to check the comments before I can go on?
Oh, sorry, I was laughing at one. Yaya says, thanks for clearing that up, Toad. People showing up asking questions about reselling the nerve in response to my Toadcast thing. But yeah, let's go on to real comments. I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, let's see. I don't even think I have any questions or anything, really.
Okay, well,
yeah,
you
go
have
ahead.
one?
I'll still look for more.
Well, I can see, you have any of your own?
No, go ahead.
Okay. And what type of things do you sell, not necessarily just on Amazon? I know you do some eBay still.
Yeah, we do a lot of different stuff. I mean, we sell pretty much anything that we can make money on eBay. We sell a lot of kitchen stuff and a lot of electronics, a lot of media type items, software, toys.
Really, it's mostly electronics and kitchen items though on eBay.
I think it's mostly just home items, like just home items. We do pretty much everything except we don't do much for shoes. Even though I did sell a pair of shoes today. And
did we?
Yeah. And
what shoes?
They were cross-trained shoes or something. I don't know, Nikes.
Oh, yay! I just got those like earlier this week.
We do pick them up once in a while, and we do pick up some clothing once in a while, but we try not to get too much into that stuff. On Amazon, we sell a lot of the same kinds of stuff. We have one Amazon account to where we sell
all of the electronics and media and the used stuff.
Yeah, media, movies, games, you know, stuff like that. We have another Amazon account where I have my own brand of supplements that I sell, and that's just kind of on autopilot. It just pretty much makes money, and then when I need more, I just contact the manufacturer, tell them to send more to Amazon.
And we get a lot of people that pop off and say, oh, you got to be careful. You can't have more than one Amazon account. Before we had more than one Amazon account, we did call Amazon and make sure that it was okay.
It's okay. They don't want people going in there and making multiple Amazon accounts selling the same products. But as long as you have different bank accounts for each Amazon account, and you are basically separating the types of items you sell. So like if you were selling all pool stuff and you had an Amazon account, but you didn't want it, you wanted to sell used DVDs and games, but you didn't want your pool account to be, people look at your store and see all this stuff, then you can open another Amazon account and separate the businesses. It's totally fine. You can do that. But
Well, that's good to know.
But we have one more Amazon account, and that one we have a private label product that we came out with, and that's making...
That's our main income right now.
Yeah, that's making a lot of money right now, and I'm expanding on that. I'm talking with a few other China manufacturers, and we're looking at getting some more products here by the end of the year.
Well, I hope you get them, first of all. And now, you guys sourced originally together or separately?
We always source.
Starting?
We always source together. I mean, we separate when we go. Our main, with a lot of our used Amazon stuff too. Our main sourcing place is Away and Pay, and we go in there. We don't stay together in the building when we go. We separate, but it's the same kind of with thrift stores. We'll go in, and the first place he goes is to electronic stuff, and generally the first place I go is to kitchen stuff. But we always meet together in the end and look everything up. So we're always together, but we're not always by each other.
Okay.
Unless one of us is sick or something, then the other one will go. I went to a thrift store the other day without him, and last week he went to a thrift store without me. It's just most of the time we're together.
Yeah, most of the time we source together, though. We can get more stuff.
All right. Sean, anything in the comments?
Yep. Has the balance on home life and work been improved since you got the warehouse?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And we've kind of split off a little bit on that too. We'll both go either sourcing or we'll go to the warehouse in the morning. And then when it's time for the kids to be home from school, I'll come home and I'll get the house cleaned up and stuff and make them dinner and help them with their homework and whatnot. And he stays at the warehouse till probably 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Cool.
And after that,
just depends on what I feel like.
Yeah.
Right now it's new to me. I enjoy being down there. It's fun. It's like a hobby, It's especially when she takes off, I get to be by myself and just kind of
turn the music up loud.
Yeah, turn the music up loud. And I get to
Awesome.
And I don't want to leave sometimes, man. I want to stay there till 10 o'clock at night, But it's...
Which kind of blows because it's supposed to give us more family time, but he's using up the family time at the warehouse.
That's what I always pictured myself if I had a warehouse, blasting the music, hanging out with my dog, doing whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely been better, though. I mean, she gets come back to
I
the
get
house.
to have my time, he gets to have his time.
She's been helping the kids with their homework and, being able
Cooking.
to...
Ugh.
Yeah, she's actually cooking.
I honestly, since we started out the warehouse and I started coming home, I probably haven't cooked before that in 7 or 8 years. I don't cook. This is kind of forcing me to, though, but I'm having fun with it. I can make the kids snacks after school, and we get to do the fun stuff like make Rice Krispie treats and make crap out of carrots and celery. It's fun.
Anything else, Sean?
Oh, there's a lot of questions now. So is moving into the warehouse of your sales and productivity changed any?
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah, I actually hired somebody too. I have a kid that he does a really good job.
Yeah, we lucked out on him.
And I mean, he cleans stuff fast. He knows how to hook all the I didn't have to train him much. I mean, I'm still teaching him little tricks on cleaning stuff and things like that. But for the most part, I mean, he could take a stack of electronics and he can plug them all in, test them. I mean, just fast. He just brings piles of clean stuff to me, clean and tested. And I've been giving him $10 an hour. He's begging me to work for me every day. Right now, just because it's towards the end of the year, I'm just kind of paying him under the table, just until the end of the year. If he still wants to work for me, though, I'm going to get it all set up to where he's some sort of private contractor or something, because he will be working for other people I know, and it's kind of a private contractor type thing, so I'll probably put him as a private contractor.
That's cool though. Yeah, you did luck out. Found somebody like that.
Yeah. He does an awesome job, and my brother-in-law's been using him. My mom's been using him. They'll just grab him for a couple hours and give him $10 an hour, and he'll just have a pile of stuff done for him. It's totally worth it because he does a really good job.
For sure,
Well,
definitely.
I got another question here before we go back into the comments. I know we got lots of questions, but I have some too, so.
Oh.
And I'm sure that some of them are the same. What are some mistakes that you made from the beginning as you went that you can impart to somebody that might be new to watch this channel or to selling in reality?
I'd say getting too comfortable with your situation. If you get too comfortable, you're going to get lazy and you're going to stop working. You really need to get yourself on a schedule and treat it like a job, not like a hobby. If you want to make it work as an income, you need to make it a job, not a hobby.
Yeah, you need to. I think you just really need to take it seriously. I know that whenever I don't take it seriously, I just kind of come and go as I please and don't focus on the things that I need to focus on. My sales drop, money goes down, and I see a lot of people asking, like, why can't I get over that hill? Why can't I get to this point? And there's a lot of factors that it could be, but most of the time I notice that if you just get on a schedule, also, and I tell people that all the time because it's really important to do, but also having an organized space to work in. We went, and I see how we've been kind of moving. I mean, ever since we started making YouTube videos, we've grown so much. With the help from people that we meet, as well as things that we've been doing. But it's just, we went from this little office and having a couple bookshelves, just selling stuff on eBay. And then all of a sudden we were like spreading out into our second living room. And I'm going, okay, well we need more space. And then we moved into the garage. And now we're in a 3,000 square foot warehouse. And each time we move to a better organized space, we work more because we're more focused. It's funner to work. It's not as stressful. I noticed that every time our space started getting cramped, then all of a sudden we were less productive. We didn't want to be work. We didn't want to work for as long. So I think being organized and having the schedule, those are probably the two most important things when doing this business.
I got a couple more too. Have a good support network behind you, and I forgot what the other one I was going to say was now.
It's super important.
Yeah, you definitely have to have that support behind you. Oh, and also look everything up.
Yeah.
Don't just assume that because something you had a year ago sold, it's still going to sell today. Look everything up.
I see a lot of people do that, and I don't know if it's laziness or what. Like, I always teach people to look everything up. I mean, everything. Why not? You got a phone there, look it up. But I still see people that will come back with a load. And I'm like, oh, did you look that up? And they go, no. What about that? No, it was interesting. No, it was cheap. And I'm like, what? I mean, it doesn't take that much time. Just look the stuff up.
True.
Comments, Sean? Or questions, I should say?
So obviously the warehouse is for FBA and stuff like that, eBay, everything. Are you going to also look into doing like other auctions for, like, say, storage auctions or anything like that?
We've gone to them a little bit out here, but they're just, ever since the TV shows, they're just so competitive anymore. And it's just, honestly, it's not really something that we want to do. I mean, maybe someday as like something fun to go do, but at this point, it's not really anything we want to do. The guy that owns the warehouse that we're renting out, though, he has contact with a lady that buys shipping containers, like the ones that go on boats, the big trailer car things, buys shipping containers of store returns.
And it's like overstock.
Whenever she's around and he's around, he's going to introduce us to her, and that would be really nice to get that hookup set up. So
yeah, the storage auctions, I don't know, they're just, it's a lot of people that it's like gambling, because you go there and you're hoping to roll the dice and get something good, and that's just a totally different business model than I'm used to. Like, I'm used to knowing that I'm making a good decision every single time. Before I even go pay for an item, I know it's a good decision. And with those storage auctions, if you see some good stuff, you have a pretty good idea of what you can get out of those items. But so does everybody else that's been against you. So anything over the value of what you can see is all a gamble.
And it's really dirty, messy work, and you have a lot of trash to get rid of. So.
Yeah. But it definitely gives us more room to do stuff like that. I'm going to be looking more into using it a lot for storage for private label products, because I do have my manufacturers, they can ship directly to Amazon, but I'm finding more and more that once I have everything in place, you can get your products cheaper the bigger quantities that you buy. So if I buy a huge quantity, I don't want to send them all to Amazon, because then I'm going to have like a 7-month supply in an Amazon warehouse that I'm paying storage fees on. So instead of doing that, I would just have them shipped to me and store them in my warehouse, and then when the inventory runs low, I could ship boxes off to FBA.
Definitely. Yeah. What are your top 3 goals for 2015?
Get our tax stuff situated. We are the biggest procrastinators in the world when it comes to taxes. Last year, or this year, I guess I should say, we filed our taxes on, what is it? It's either March or April 15th. We filed on the 15th this year because that's just something that we do not like doing.
Yeah.
So that is, I think, my #1 main goal is to get taxes situated.
It's going to be, I mean, we basically we need to find a really good tax person that's going to help us out and start paying our taxes quarterly, because we have so many different businesses now, and there's a lot of money coming in from all these different places, and I know I'm going to be paying a lot this year because I haven't paid in all year long. So when we do our taxes for this year, I'm thinking we're probably going to be paying thousands and thousands of dollars to Uncle Sam, I'm sure.
Wow.
On top of that, we also want to get at least, we have a goal of about a product a month, just a beginning goal. We want to try to get more private label products out there.
Right, and I'm hoping, I'm really hoping by the end of next year, I think one of my big goals is to be selling over 100,000 a month in sales. Not profit, but in sales. Just in all the businesses. And I think it's really attainable. I think we can do it.
Sweet.
What, almost a quarter of the way there?
We're
already?
Yeah, we're about a quarter of the way there. So we would be quadrupling our business if we get that.
Which, that's what we did the year before.
Do you ever see Amazon promoting vintage and antiques?
Nope.
Which I know they have some site, a collectible site or something that most people don't know about, but
no, really, we just do the stuff that we send into FBA. We games, box, board games, some kitchen stuff, electronics.
Kitchen stuff, electronics, yeah, a lot of that stuff. We've never been really up to date on the whole collectibles and antiques. And
they kind of bore me.
They're interesting, but I don't know a lot about them, and it's I know a lot of people really enjoy them, and I think it would be fun, but I just never got into it.
I have a really cool ivory elephant tusk carving that was my great grandma's. I think probably the oldest thing I own.
That wouldn't last very long on eBay.
We should be coming out with a video here pretty soon now. I know it's been a while. We're just, like she said, we were just trying to
Get everything.
Get everything online, and there was a lot of stuff online going on, and I was just really kind of tired of seeing a lot of it. And just wanted to get back to reality.
Well, my next question, I don't know if anybody asked this in the feed, but tonight, earlier today, during their Pickett's Church, they were talking about Chad Logan and his girlfriend getting into family business. Have you thought of, or are you trying to get your children into the business as well?
You know what? We haven't really had to try much. Our kids are not very hoardery or anything like that. If they've decided they don't want a toy anymore, they want to sell it. They come and they say, I want to sell this, and if it's just something that they have, we'll tell them, okay, we'll sell it, you can have half the money. Our son is getting to the point now, he's 11, he'll be 12 next month. He's actually to the point now where we'll go out thrifting and stuff, and if he's with us, he will find something, and if it's worth money, he says, okay, take it out of my money, I'll clean it, I'll get everything ready on it, and he wants all of the money on it. So he's fallen into it on his own, which is it's really cool.
He's just not right now. He's not at that age yet. I think he's starting to show signs of getting into it, but he's basically 12 years old, and he's just he doesn't have that hunger for money right now. He has everything he needs. The kids are spoiled. They really are. But I think once he gets to the point to where he's more of a teenager, I think he's going to really start looking more into doing it and making some money.
He ain't going to want to go small.
Once he has more interests in life to spend money on.
Yeah, he'll be having his own product on Amazon or something like that.
There you go. Yeah.
And one of my last questions before we go back into the feed is, what percentage of your sales would you say are FBA over merchant fulfilled?
Are we talking just FBA, or are we excluding private label?
No, he's saying all
just FBA. I didn't really want to get into that, because as you told me before when I asked him, you didn't really want to talk about it, so I didn't want to get into it.
I don't know. What? We still have more sales on, if you're only talking FBA stuff, we still have more sales on eBay than we do FBA. But
well, now we're talking.
I just said that.
Oh, okay.
But just because we just have more luck finding eBay stuff than FBA.
Merchant fulfilled and FBA.
Oh, merchant fulfilled and FBA. Oh, we do a lot more on FBA than we do merchant fulfilled.
Yeah.
Really, the only things we do merchant fulfilled are the big the VCRs, the DVD players, the surround sound systems, the big electronics like that.
Yeah.
We don't do much else.
It's probably only about 10% or less of our Amazon business. The merchant fulfilled.
Okay. So you make more on eBay than even on your merchant fulfilled then for Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah. Our eBay, we sell more on eBay than we do merchant fulfilled.
Well, that's good to know. Considering I'm actually thinking about getting out of Amazon due to a recent situation that I sold a sealed thermostat for $25. I got it for like $2. The person turned around saying that it wasn't the right thermostat in the package, yet it was sealed. So they're returning it. So I didn't know how to handle that. We refunded them and everything else, but it's just, how could it not be the right stuff when it's already sealed?
Yeah. It happens. That's part of the beef, in this business.
You got to deal with customers.
I think the longer you do it, the more you just, whatever. I had a return that came to me the other day. It was $100, and it's just like, whatever.
And it was a cash register, and they just said it's too big. It doesn't fit where I want it to fit. You're like, okay, I guess we'll.
Here's your money, take it, whatever.
Yeah.
Bye. Kind of how.
This was actually my first return on Amazon at all, so I've had a couple of sales version fulfilled. So. Okay. Anything else in the comments, Sean?
Yep. Let's see. Question. I want to get started on the FBA since I coupon. Would love to get approved for beauty and food. Any advice on how to do this? Should I sell the other things, or should I sell other things sell other things first before she tries to get approved, or?
Honestly, it depends on where you're getting your stuff, because you have to have invoices. No matter what gated category you're trying to get approved for, you have to have invoices from a reputable.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about the food because I really never got into that. But with health and beauty, you can go to like drugstore.com. I think it's drugstore.com. Yeah, and you can order like a whole bunch. Do like 3 different orders within like a couple months, and just buy. You can actually probably find some stuff that you can break even on, or maybe even make $1 or $2.
Or just get stuff you need around your house.
Or just get stuff you need around the house, and then you'll get like 3 different invoices over a period of 3 orders. Do that, and then start selling on Amazon, of course, different things. But once you try to get approved for that category, and if you have those invoices, you'll get approved no problem. As long as all your stuff looks good, you'll be able to get approved for it. I'm not sure on the food, though. I've never really looked into that.
Speaking of getting approved, did you guys get approved for selling DVDs and stuff? And also, what do you see happening with the Amazon DVD prices after tomorrow?
We didn't really try to do, but DVD prices, I could see them going up, which I think is cool. I'm not going to complain, but you know what? Just what we've been doing, we haven't had any issues listing DVDs. I mean, the only thing we've really had issues with are stuff we already had issues with before, like the big workout programs or the seasons of shows, stuff like that. And that's stuff we kind of tend to veer away from anyways because there's so many fakes out there.
Yeah, and the thing is with DVDs, there's really not a lot of money in it. I mean, I know there's probably people out there that are making a lot of money on DVDs. So, but what I'm saying is that you're going out and you're scanning DVDs. You're talking you're going to make $1, $2, $3, $4, and if you get lucky, you can make $20 on a DVD. But most of the time, it's little money. It's not huge money unless you're doing it in super high volume. And most of the time, when you're scanning these DVDs, most of them are under that, what is it, $25 or whatever MSRP. So you're still able to send them in. And every now and then, you'll get that weird company that you can't send in or something.
Which is the beach body and.
Well, just weird studios that have an agreement or whatever, the weird stuff's going on. But it's not huge money, and I was going to do that. I was going to go to a website, I forget the website, and I was going to get invoices and send them in and do all that stuff. But I was like, most of the stuff I was doing didn't fall into that category anyways. So I said, I'm not even going to worry about it. And plus, I really don't want to do a lot of DVDs.
DVDs are kind of a pain in the butt. You have to clean them and resurface them.
If they're new, if they're used,
yeah, if they're used, you got to resurface them, and it's easier not to. It's very time consuming.
And I've talked to a lot of FBA people that always say DVDs are funny. They're like, I don't like doing DVDs on Amazon because Amazon and customers and everybody's really funny with DVDs. With the whole bootleg thing, and they're just like.
And somebody accuses you of bootleg one time, and Amazon will boot you.
Yeah, and somebody told me that they would send their DVDs into Amazon, and they would list them for sale like 3 years down the road or 2 years down the road, and then just do multi-order fulfillment or multi-channel fulfillment. And they would sell their DVDs in other platforms and not on Amazon because they said Amazon was just horrible for DVDs, that people really need to be careful when you're selling them on there.
Interesting.
Okay, my last question for personal-wise. If you couldn't source where you live now, like if something happened to where all the stores closed or something like to that effect, would you, would you move or would you find something else to sell?
At this point, we probably wouldn't change anything because we have our private labeling that we're doing. But if we didn't have that and we had no more places to source here, yeah, I don't know that, would you move? I don't know. That's a good question. I've honestly never thought about that.
I don't know. I think that when one door closes, another one always opens. I mean, I guess if you needed to move to a different area to make the money, then of course you'd do it. But I know that there's a lot of other ways to make money online. And I know a lot of them, I just don't do them because I'm so busy in what we're doing. But I mean, you can go online and you can go onto eBay and you could buy stuff off eBay, and right when you get it, put it in a box and send it to Amazon.
And you can do the same thing opposite direction. You can buy stuff on Amazon, sell it on eBay.
Yeah, more for the eBay, but there's a lot of things I've sold on Amazon that I've sold for $60, $70, $80. And you look on eBay and it's going for like $5, $10.
Then you can do the same thing with retail arbitrage. So, no, honestly, we probably wouldn't move.
No, I have pick-apart places around here, and I don't do this. I would love to find somebody that I could just hire and have them do it, and I could just call them and say, hey, I need you to grab this part, that part. But I was checking some of the prices at these pick-apart places. Just different parts, computers, radios, bezels, switches, relays, just all kinds of weird stuff that you can pull off these cars. And I was checking eBay prices, and eBay prices, compared to the pick-apart here anyways, there's a ton of profit to be made.
Can't you get relays for free here?
Well, yeah, like relays and stuff like that you get free here, but most of the stuff you could, I would call them and ask them, what do you guys charge for this kind of part? And they would say $20. And I'd look on eBay, and it would be selling all the time, every time for $60. So, I mean, there's tons of places that you can go sourcing. There's tons of different products you can sell.
Nice.
Anything in the comments, Sean?
Yeah.
Couple more questions before we go to the topic?
Clint Miller, he just got out of the Army June 20th. Thank you for serving, man. Of this year, and is taking to reselling as a full-time job. He says he loves it. He's completely lost in getting involved in private label goods for Amazon. Any tips? That one we can't cover. I didn't read that part.
Fine. No, as far as private labeling goes,
There's just a lot. There's a lot to go on.
Yeah.
There's not. I can't sit here for even the next hour and talk about private labeling and you'll know everything. But first thing, you got to realize that you're going to need some money to do private labeling. I would say you need at least $1,000 or $3,000. At least $1,000, and that's if you find something that
is ridiculously cheap.
Yeah, it's super cheap, and they have a super low minimum order quantity. But most of your products, you're going to need about $2,000, $3,000 to get it shipped over here and done. Then you also have to have some money to market the product, promote it, because you have to get it popular on Amazon. And that's not a whole lot of money, maybe a few more $100 or so. But you have to have the money to start it up. And I mean, then you gotta worry about getting all your pictures done, getting your logos designed. Make sure that you're not trying to get a product that has a copyright on it. I mean, there's a lot of different things that go into it. But if you have the money to do it, the first place to start looking is Alibaba. You go to Alibaba, and you can submit a product request to get quotes, and you'll have all these companies that'll just email you what their minimum order quantity is, and you pretty much got to haggle with them. You got to go back and forth. You got to get samples so you know you're not getting a piece of crap, and then you just move on from there. I mean, that's pretty much how you do it.
First piece of advice I'll give: stay away from anything electronic.
Yeah.
And anything media.
Something that is not branded, because it's a bootleg, it's branded. And anything that is got like a bunch of moving components, like electronics that can be bad. Don't stay away from those. iPods, that kind of stuff. Stay away. Simple, lightweight, small items. That's what you want to get into because you have to worry about shipping and all that.
Do you see yourselves outgrowing Amazon and moving on to your own site, or doing both?
I don't really know.
You know, we haven't really looked into freaking making our name a name. There's so much more that goes into doing that.
Here's the thing.
It's just easier to send it to Amazon.
Yeah, you can do all that. You can come out with your own, send your products and start getting representatives to go out and put them in stores. And you can make yourself a brand name and have your items in stores. And the problem is now you're running a whole business of distribution. So now you have to hire employees, you have to have a big warehouse, and you have to ship the orders out to all these stores. Well, with Amazon, you just ship it to them, and they handle all that for you.
They handle returns, they handle
you don't have
shipments, they handle orders, they handle everything.
You don't have to have this big, huge factory like Coca-Cola or something, with all these employees, and basically you have to go to work, like you have to be there. You have to run it. You have to have managers and people running this business for you. It's just so much nicer to be able to go, let's take off for 2 months.
Let's go to China and find our own product.
Yeah, let's go to China for a month or two. And your Amazon business, Amazon's employees are still shipping your items out. You can check your business right on your laptop or your phone. So right now, that's where I want to be, just because it gives you so much more freedom.
Definitely.
Anything else, Sean?
That's pretty much it.
Okay, well then I guess we can start going into our actual topic for tonight. I want to thank all, we've hit 55 viewers at the highest I've seen so far. So I want to thank them all for showing up. I know there's a lot of loyal viewers. For the people that might catch this months down the road or a year down the road, can you explain what FBA stands for and what it is for somebody that might not even know?
It stands for Fulfilled by Amazon, and it's when you take your product that is already prepped and you send it to their warehouse and they store it for you. And if somebody buys it, they package and ship it for you. And if you have any returns, they deal with the returns. It goes back to them, not to you. And they charge you fees and pay you what's left over, pretty much. They charge what, about, I would say on the high end, 30%.
On the high end, yeah.
On the high end, 30%, but they're storing everything for you and taking care of everything for you.
Okay. And is there advantages or disadvantages over merchant fulfilled for it?
Sorry, will you say that again? We have a daughter that doesn't feel very well.
Aw.
Sorry to hear that. That's just, do you think there's advantages to doing FBA over merchant fulfilled or disadvantages for either one?
Yeah, I would definitely say there's an advantage to do FBA over merchant fulfilled. I mean, on some stuff. On the larger electronics, I would say no, there's not really a benefit to it. You will get a bit more money for the stuff, but the prep and time that it takes to get everything set to go, I would say with the larger electronics, probably not. But with the smaller stuff, you have more visibility. And I think Amazon Prime is kind of like one of those cult classics. There are people that just refuse to buy anything unless it's Prime.
Yeah. I can attest to that. This week I sold like 3 things that had lower prices on merchant fulfilled. So, I mean, they have to have. I mean, yeah, it's crazy.
No, when we buy stuff on Amazon, if it's not Prime, we don't buy it purely for the fact that we get free 2-day shipping, and it's easy.
Yeah. People pay more when they get it faster.
Yeah. I mean, one of the products was like $10, more expensive. I was like, what? Okay. I'm not arguing.
Yeah.
I know you said stay away from the electronics for it, but what type of items might be good for FBA that you don't necessarily have to sell it yourself, but you know that they would work for others?
Like just regular FBA?
Yeah.
Oh, we do lots of books and CDs and games and DVDs, and we do small electronics. Like
digital cameras.
Yeah, digital cameras, Sony Walkman and Sony Discmans. I mean, anything that's, I think Amazon's
Polaroids.
Large size, oversized is like 12 by 16 by 8. Don't quote me on those sizes, but I think it's something right around that. If it's larger than any of those dimensions on one side, then they'll charge you the oversized price. But anything under that is a penny a month to store. And I mean, that's awesome. Thank you.
Anything in the comments, Sean?
Let's see. How do they... What? Experimental vaccines is, how do they do this from the Amazon forest? I was looking to see if that was to somebody else, or...
We do it from the Amazon forest because we're awesome.
Guy says the issue with Amazon is the fear of doing something wrong and getting your account closed. That is why I asked about their own site where you can make a mistake.
You know, we haven't had too many issues. I mean, the extent of our issues is we've had shipments that had extra items in them or shipments that were missing items, and they're pretty lenient on that. We've done it quite a few times and haven't had any issues. We even called them one time and asked them, and they said, well, you're probably pretty safe. Just try to be careful when you do your shipments.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. I hear a lot of people always talking about fear. You know, and fear is a good motivator, I guess, but everybody's always scared. Like when we started doing like our online stuff full time, everybody's like, why don't you just get a regular job? Aren't you scared?
Get a real job.
Aren't you scared that, like, what if you can't sell anything one month? What if you couldn't sell something the next month? What if eBay shuts your account down? What if, and people are like, what if Amazon shuts your account down? Or what if, I mean, there's lots of what ifs. I mean, what if an airplane falls from the sky and lands on my home? It doesn't mean I'm going to put my house in the ground and create a bomb shelter, does it? You know, I mean, there's always a what if, and there's always an extreme that can take away something from you. Nothing is forever. And people just need to realize that nothing is forever. I won't have an Amazon account forever. You know, I won't have money forever. You know, I won't have the same job, and I know that. Everything goes back to its original state. You know, just like us. We don't last forever. So all you can do is ride this wave while it's here. And right now it's Amazon. Amazon's just doing awesome things for us. And if in the future something happens with Amazon and I have to create my own website, then let's worry about that when that happens. Being scared of getting into it is just going to keep you from making money now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So far, so good for me. I haven't had returns through FBA or any problems. So I had a couple of returns through Merchant Fulfilled last year when I was doing it, but yeah, so far so good. Of course, now watch, I just said that.
You don't really have to do too much about it. You know, as long as you're careful and you're good and you're doing what you need to do, chances are your account will be.
And one of the nice things about when you get returns through FBA is it's less personal. You don't ever see the item. You don't ever have to physically give them a refund. Well, eventually. You don't ever have to physically give them a refund. Amazon does all that for you. And they determine whether the product is still sellable. And if it is, they put it right back on Amazon for you. You don't have to deal with any of that. So, I mean, that makes it a lot nicer.
And it's not perfect. A lot of times I'll call stuff back that Amazon deems is not sell-worthy. And I'll get it back and send it right back to Amazon because there was nothing wrong with it.
And then we sell it again and it's fine.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but it is less personal because it doesn't ruin your whole day. Because you weren't sitting there all day long going back and forth on messages with some douchebag that's telling you it's the wrong item in the package when it was sealed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do notice that there are a couple people asking if you can explain what Prime is.
Prime is $99 a year, and it's something you pay for on Amazon. It's a yearly membership, and it gives you free 2-day shipping on anything that is housed in an Amazon warehouse.
Well, it's not always 2 days, but
well,
usually
they call it it's free 2-day shipping, and that's what it is. But if you buy it on a Friday, you're not going to get it till Tuesday. It's free
2-day shipping most of the time.
And you also get free books to rent on Kindle, and you get a free service that's like Netflix. They have free Amazon Prime viewing. It's a lot like Netflix and whatever the other one is. But I mean, just that alone, the $99 a year, it's less than $10 a month, and you get a Netflix service.
It's awesome as well.
I think it's called Prime Video. Prime Video is what it's called.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We use the Prime a lot on shipping.
Especially during the Christmas season.
Yeah.
We buy almost all of our gifts, because if you buy something on Amazon, it's not like eBay where you have to have a set shipping address in your PayPal and verified through eBay and all this and that. If you buy something through Amazon, you can have it shipped wherever you want.
Okay. Now, I know there are different distribution centers for Amazon. I know you may not know this, but have they ever given you a reason for why they would have you ship something, say, if you're in Florida, to California instead of the closest one to you?
Certain warehouses house more of certain things. Like if you get a whole bunch of stuff and you start getting it ready to ship, you'll notice that most of the CDs go to a certain warehouse, and most of the VHSs go to a certain warehouse. And just like in board games, most of them will go to a certain warehouse, unless you have multiples of things. If you have multiples of things, they'll have you send it to different warehouses. They try to spread everything out throughout the United States so that they can fulfill that 2-day shipping date.
Okay. Well, I see Sean gave you guys a question on the side. So I don't know.
You can answer that anytime.
Okay.
But do you guys do retail arbitrage or have replens on Amazon? Stuff like that.
We don't do too much retail arbitrage. If we're out and we see something on a clearance rack and we can make money on it, we do. But that's not something we specifically go out sourcing for.
Cool. There's a lot of information too they put on their videos and stuff. So if you go and subscribe to them too, then you can check out all their videos. I've learned a lot off of there too. So it's really good stuff. You get a sense on what to send in and what to buy and things like that too. So that's also where you can find lots of info.
Now, another thing I'm still trying to figure out for myself, and I know there's going to be some people that might have this question. What are the best support materials to start with FBA? Like, do you need a thermal printer? Can you use a regular printer?
You can. It's a lot easier to have a thermal printer, but you can use the A330Fs to do FBA labels if you don't have a thermal printer. And it's a lot easier if you have 30 items at a time, because if you don't, it really does waste your labels. But you can do it.
Yeah, you don't have to have a bunch of fancy supplies. You can always move into it. A lot of people think they have to have all these fancy supplies, but a lot of people start without it. You know, a lot of people don't even have like a good sourcing app.
And you can always have Amazon label your stuff for you.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of things you can do, but it's something. If you're not doing it, most of the time the people that aren't doing Amazon, it's fear. You know, they just keep talking themselves into not doing it because they don't. You know, they're like, oh, that's too hard. Oh, that's too much work. I have to think too hard for the next week in order to get into it. And it might not be for you, but if you've never done it, and all you're going to do is sit around and be scared about it all the time, you're never going to make that money, and you're never going to even see it. Maybe it's something that's going to be perfect for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I did is I mean, it was only 15 items and really small, but I just did a small little, very first, shipment, and it kind of, it wasn't overwhelming very much, and it was, you got the taste of it, you got the feel of it, and you sent it in, or I sent it in, so that kind of helped as well, getting your feet wet basically.
Yeah, start small. That's how you do it. When my mom did her first FBA order, she spent all day doing it, and then she got done and she said, that is a lot of work. That is just way too much work. And so then I explained to her, I said, well, how many items did you get done? Like, how many items did you ship in? And she was like, oh, it was like 100 and something. And I said, okay, so you listed 100 and something items and sent them in. And she goes, yeah. And I said, well, it took you all day, but how could you have gotten that many items on eBay in a day?
Exactly.
And she's like, no, I never thought about it like that. And I said, well, that's exactly right. It is a lot of work when you have a lot of stuff you're trying to ship in. And your first order is always the hardest because you think you're doing something wrong. I mean, the more you do it, just like anything, it gets easier.
Definitely, yeah.
Any questions, Sean? I see a couple myself, but I know what ones you already had in your head.
There's Jason Neal was saying, how was the process of getting approved in categories? Can you walk us through your experience?
We have not tried. We are not approved for any outside categories, but we have lots of friends that have been. And it's just, you have to do certain things. You have to have your invoices, and once you have everything that you need, it's easy. You send the files, they get back to you, and they either say you're approved or you're not. And if you're not, you have to figure out why you were not approved, which they are not very clear on at all. But generally it's something really dumb, but we've just never had the need. We don't sell any HBA stuff. We don't sell many DVDs over $25. We don't sell clothes. We don't sell luggage, so we don't have any need to get approved for those categories.
A lot of times they just need to know that you know how to list the item.
Yeah, and I mean some like he was saying, some categories like luggage, if any of you guys ever want to sell luggage, you have to know how to do flat files on Amazon. And most people don't know what flat files are on Amazon. And they're kind of a pain in the butt. They take time to learn. It's kind of Amazon's backdoor way of listing, where you don't go through their little online form thing. You submit a PDF or an Excel file to them. And your whole listing is in an Excel file.
Okay. Anything else, Sean?
Yeah. There's how do you handle sorting items for large shipments into different warehouses?
Oh, you'll got to get in here and explain that because you just changed what we do recently.
What?
With sorting stuff for different shipments. Yeah.
Well, go for it.
I don't know what you do. You do that part, not me.
That's going split up to work and not know everything else goes on.
I do the pictures and the cleaning. Well, actually, I don't even have to do the cleaning and stuff anymore.
I'm always playing with different ways of doing it. What I've been doing lately is I'm kind of cheating because I'm using an app that I'm paying for. It's like $30 a month, but you could do it without the app. But it just all the app does or the application does is help speed up what you're doing. But without using the application I was using also it's called Listee, Listee. You guys can check it out if you want. But basically, I list an item, okay, on Amazon. Right when you add it to they call it a shipping plan. If you're not using an application, you can have another window open. And this all depends on the type of printer you're using to print your labels for your item too. But if you're using some sort of thermal printer, you can just copy the ASIN number and paste it into your scanner label and print a label out right then and there. And what I do with that, I put that label with that item. And depending on what warehouse it's going to, at the end, when everything's all done, all these products will go into their respective boxes. And I'll just write on the lid of the box, B&A 3, their little acronyms they use for different warehouses. And that way, all these items are in their boxes. So if you're not ready to ship these out because maybe this box only has a few items in it or whatever, then you just set it away on your shelf. And as you get more items in, you're going to be adding to that box. So each time you print out a label, you don't have to really prep the item if you don't want to. Like, for instance, if it's a Sony Discman, I'll open the lid of the Discman and I'll put the label inside of there. That way I can do it later if I want to. I can wrap it some bubble wrap and then stick the label on it. If it's a book, a lot of times people like to wrap their books. I do. I'll put the label on the inside of the first page and then put it in that box. So once I'm ready for all this whole box to go, I got all the labels printed out already. All the products are there. And then I just double check my count. I'll just count them. If there's supposed to be 30 items in there, I'll count it. And I'll check, yep, there's 30 items. And it leaves a lot of, a very small room for error. Because that's the big thing, is when you have an error, then you have to go in and find each item, and it's a pain in the ass. But if you separate all your shipments like this all the time, you're going to be losing very few products. You're going to have all the right products in there most of the time, and it just cuts a lot of the work out of it.
That's awesome. I do like that. Because I just end up piling them up somewhere in a corner or something, and then, listing them all and then going that route. But and sometimes, I have a couple extra items, and that we're supposed to go to a specific warehouse. I'm like, I'm not sending 2 small items. What the hell, So I just hang on to them until I'm ready.
And today I had 2 items that go in one shipment.
Mm.
It was just 2 items. One was a big ass board game about that big, and a guitar. PS2 Guitar Hero guitar. Well, they were both pretty long items, and I knew that the only other products are going to really be able to go in this box were guitars.
Mm.
So I looked at it. I'm like, well, this board game goes for like $90, and this guitar goes for about $40.
Mm.
So all in all, I have $130 worth of items here. I might as well put them in a box and ship them out.
That would make sense. Yeah, these are only little $10 items, so
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, you have to look at how much value is in the box. If you only have $30 value in the box and it's going to cost you $6 to send it out, you might as well wait.
Yeah.
If you have 100,
they're not super hot sellers, so it's not like they would sell right away either. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and if you guys ever do quantities on FBA, for instance, you find 10 of something, or 8 of something, or 5 of something,
It's going to separate it up into 10 different warehouses.
Yeah, it'll separate it up. When you're listing the item, if you go in and you say, yep, I do have 8 of these, and then you go through your process, and at the end of it, you'll notice that it doesn't tell you to send these 8 items to one place. It always tells you to send them to this place, and this place. It's usually 3 if you have 8. If you have like 4, it'll usually separate them into 2, sometimes still 3. So what you do is you put quantity of 1 and go all the way through the shipment and say, yep, there's only 1 of those. And approve the shipment and everything. But then when you go to ship the shipment, you can modify that number.
Up to 13.
Well, yeah, you can modify it up to a certain amount, and it'll let you change, I think it's 5 or 10% of your order. So you just find that item and go, now I have 8 of them. And all 8 will go to that one place.
Nice. That would be cool. Yeah.
So they're just little tricks that you can learn as you go on.
Well, I know there's a question I just saw where I don't know if it went flying past before Sean can catch it, from Chris Maynard. He was asking about, he knows you guys piece out parts, electronics. Have you done that for FBA itself, or?
Some things, not too many. But we've done, like with some Cuisinart parts, we've sent them to FBA, and they sell pretty quick.
And there is some remotes and stuff. I mean, I've seen people sell remotes on there. The one thing is, though, you're not really going to see a rank on remotes.
Yeah, remotes are kind of a pain in the butt.
Because a remote, you look on there, and it'll say a rank of NA, and there's just certain categories in Amazon FBA that will not give you a rank. So you don't know how fast they sell or nothing. You really have no idea. But there'll be reviews on the item. There'll be like 37 reviews with a NA rank. But I haven't really sent a lot of the remotes in, but I know people are buying them, so I might want to try doing that. But on the kitchen parts, I've noticed a lot of Cuisinart parts you can put on FBA. And we've sent a few in, and we haven't done a lot. We usually stick more to eBay for that, but you can. But you got to realize, I don't like creating a listing for Amazon. When I'm putting it on Amazon, I'm trying to do it because it's easier than putting it on eBay. And if I have to go and get a UPC code and put the UPC in there and create my whole new Amazon listing, I'm spending too much time on that item, and I don't like doing that. I'd rather put it on eBay, than do that.
If it's already on Amazon, we will.
Yeah, so if the listing's already there, I'll put it on there.
Okay, my next question is, what happens to unsold merchandise on FBA?
It's a penny a month for up to a year, and then after that they charge you for a long-term storage fee, which we haven't hit that point yet. I don't think. We're getting close, but we haven't hit that point yet. Do you know what the long-term storage fees are?
I'm not really sure. I mean, there's so much stuff to know with Amazon that we kind of play it by ear. As something comes up, then we learn how to do it.
And I honestly don't know if we've had anything that sat for that long. We're kind of picky with Amazon, just as we are with eBay. We don't want stuff. I mean, we're totally cool if something sits for a year in Amazon, but we don't really want to go over that because we don't know how the fees are going to work.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of stuff to know. And if you're not in Amazon yet, you're not doing it yet, don't be scared. I keep saying this. Don't be scared. Don't sit there and think, well, I don't know how this works, so I'll wait till I know everything, because you never will know everything.
And we didn't know how to do Amazon when we started.
You just need to ship it in and then worry about it. When you get an email saying there was a return, then figure out how to look at that report and figure out how to call it back to you.
Because it's a pain in the butt.
You'll figure this stuff out as you go.
Well, because I know they've had where, or I've heard of where they offered you pay them to either destroy your items or to have it shipped back to you. But who says they're really destroying it if you're paying? They can turn around and say you're paying them to sell it.
And see, I don't know what the cost is to have them destroy it. I believe it's like 15 cents an item.
That's what I heard, something like that.
Something like that. To have them return it to you is 50 cents. And we've had things returned to us.
Yeah, it's only 50 cents an item, which is dirt cheap. You know, if you get a return and the buyer opened it or whatever, well, they can't put it back in your inventory if it was a new item. So they just put it as unfulfillable. And then you could go into Amazon and you can just call back all your unfulfillable stuff. And they charge you 50 cents an item, which is, like I said, it's cheap, you know. And then you just get these boxes full of random stuff. It's kind of like Christmas, you know.
But I mean, we've done that with stuff that we sold either as new or like new or whatever, and got it back and sold it within a week on eBay in the same condition. So.
Anything in the comments, Sean?
Yeah, when you start FBA, you're only allowed to sell the basic non-permission items, correct?
The basic non-what?
Non-permission items.
I think that's pretty much what we sell. We aren't in any of the gated categories, but you can get approved for any category. I mean, you can go on YouTube and look up how to get approved for these categories. It's really not that hard. You just have to have certain basic items, certain basic documents. But the Amazon is not very seller friendly when it comes to that stuff because they don't want to approve everybody. So you just need to make sure you have everything that you have to have.
Any other questions, Sean? I got one to ask myself, so I want to wait until...
Would it make sense to do a closeout on it, or lower the price to cover fees and write the loss off? So I guess basically selling your item out, you know, super cheap just to cover your fees, and then write the loss off on your taxes or whatever, instead of having them send it back or destroy it.
I guess it depends on the item and how much you're into it. I mean, that's honestly, that's just a person's personal preference. If it's something that you don't want back, then yeah, go for it. But if it's something that you think you can sell on a different platform, or if it's something that was a return or something to that extent, then yeah, you might be better off having it sent back to you so you can send it in as a different category or a different condition.
Or, I mean, you also have to think, though, with Amazon FBA fees, sometimes the lowest price on FBA is actually putting you in the negative. So, like, if you try to sell something just at a really cheap price to match what somebody else is selling it for,
you'll lose money.
You'll lose like $1 or $1.50. So it's like for something paying 35 cents or whatever it is, to have them just destroy it and get it out of there. You know, it's not selling. It's going to cost me $1.50 to sell it really cheap, or it's going to cost 35 cents to destroy it. Which one do I want to do?
Yeah. I laugh because I matched the lowest price on something on a book, and it ended up costing me like $1 or something. I was like, "What the hell did I do?" I had to go back and look. Durr. So yeah, I'm much more focused when it comes to matching lower prices or whatever. So.
Yeah,
Okay, well, I see two questions I'm going to ask before I go to mine. Mr. Sadie's asking, can you start a box for each location and send them in as they get full?
Kinda. Start a box for each location, send them in as they get full.
Yeah, you can. It's kind of a yes and no answer, because I've seen it happen both ways. Where as I'm filling a box, if I put it off for a long time, like I'm talking like a month, like I don't do any FBA, and I have these half full boxes sitting there for like a month, and I go back in and I'm listing the same kinds of items. And I'm noticing that Amazon is telling me to put them in a different location. And they're not going in this other box of, say, books that I have going. And I don't know what it is. It's got to have probably something to do with Amazon's internal application or something, to where it's rotating through warehouses. So sometimes it doesn't work. Most of the time it does. If you're within that month and you're having the same types of items, it's going to tell you to put them in that box, and you can say, yeah, I want to add to this shipment that's not shipped out yet. And then you can just keep adding to that box. If you notice those items aren't going out, then you could go into that old shipment, that old box you have, and you could cancel it. Just delete the shipment totally. Just erase it. Now, when you erase a shipment, it doesn't erase those listings. It's kind of like having unsold listings in eBay. You know, they're still there. You still made them. You still have the condition. You still have the number associated with them. They're just not inside of a shipment anymore. So what you do is, while you're listing items, you can just click add. I think it's like add.
Replenish.
It's like add items that are already in your inventory to like a shipping plan. It's a button on the screen. And then you can just, because you already printed the labels out, you can just scan them in again into that shipment that you're working on. And it's only going to take, if you have 20 items, it's only going to take you a couple more minutes to scan and hit enter, scan and hit enter. And then what it does is it kind of re-indexes them all into a new shipment. And then when you're ready to go all the way through the order, it's going to put them all into the same kinds of shipments. And that's only if you see that it's not adding to those boxes you've had sitting there. So don't have a half a box sitting there for a month. It just, for some reason, it doesn't work.
Okay.
Heard about one seller that he ships like every 3 weeks or something, but he's out there every day buying stuff. So I don't know. To me, that would be overwhelming to buy that much every day, and then have to pack. But he does well apparently. So, but
yeah, if you're always sourcing, you shouldn't have to worry about it doing that. If you're always, I've only seen that happen one time. And now I kind of know. If you start seeing that, cancel the shipment and just re-add them in, you know, and you'd be fine.
Okay, the other question I was going to ask, that was asked by Yaya, you know, people are saying that they already know the answer. Do you guys feel there are too much sharing of information on Facebook, Spreecast, Hangouts?
No, not at all. What is information going to hurt anybody? All it's going to do is help other people to make more money. And I mean, honestly, when we give out information on YouTube or Hangouts or whatever, it doesn't hurt us because everything comes and goes.
Yeah, everything does come and go. And there was a Hangout where I said that there is certain times that it does, you know, ruin a market. Okay, like you see those TV shows about the storage auctions. I don't know. It really, I guess it didn't really ruin the market, but it definitely put a lot more people there and a lot more competition at the storage auction deals.
Same with the couponing. Any show like that.
Yeah, if it's a TV show and they're, you know, it's really, you know, because they make everything really dramatic. The producers are going to, you know, they've already said they were planting items and making stuff, you know, a lot more exciting, so everybody wanted to do it. They thought that every time they bid on a storage locker, they were gonna find, you know, $8,000 worth of stuff for $400. It just wasn't the case. But with the stuff we're doing here, I mean, for one, it's not a national TV show. You know, you're not on a national cable network giving out all these secrets. Now, if you were, would it put more competition out there?
Of course.
Yeah, it would. But there's always more stuff, like she was saying. There's always more stuff to sell. Like there's certain items that I've said on my YouTube channel that's caused the price of those items that they were selling for to go way down because everybody went out, found those items, and listed those items, and kept competing until they just kept competing for the floor. You know, they kept lowering their prices.
The race to zero.
Yeah, the race to the bottom. And
the gold Yahtzee, perfect example.
Yeah, but those kinds of items that plummeted, it wasn't the types of items that are going to make the money. It's the types of items that you're going to make some money off of them by selling them, but you're not going to make a full-time living off selling, like I've said it before, like bread pans.
Or remotes.
I mean, or even remotes, yeah. I mean, you can make decent money off selling all that stuff.
But you're not going to make a living on it.
It's a combination of everything.
Yeah.
Not just those one items. And people always take those items that you see at every single thrift store. Those are the items that plummet. It's the items that you don't see every day that's never going to matter because they come out with new models, new model numbers, and most of the time the expensive items are expensive for a reason because they're more rare. So not everybody's going to find them.
That and every seller has those few items that they don't tell anybody about. I mean, I have a couple items I don't tell anybody about. So, you know, even the bigger seller is going to have all those items that they don't tell anybody about for that reason. You know, they don't want the competition, really. You know.
But like I said, there's so many ways. I mean,
But yeah, exactly.
A million ways.
Just earlier, I'm on church. There's plenty to go around. So.
It's true. A million ways to make $1 million.
Yeah.
There truly is.
Well, my last question before we go back in for the last half hour, let the viewers ask you questions is, have you ever had Amazon actually come to you and say, we want to buy your item out so we can sell it?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Have you ever had Amazon come to you on an item that you were selling and say, we want to buy you out so we can sell it?
No.
No, not yet. That's kind of the holy grail. That's kind of like, most of the time it's a private label product. And we are still trying to launch more and more private labels. But yeah, when you have an item that is selling really, really good, Amazon will come to you and say, we want to sell your item exclusively, and you'll just supply us. And when that happens,
you're set.
Yeah, you're set. That's just instant money because then you just ship directly to Amazon, and they'll order a lot. I mean, they'll order a ton of stock, and you don't even have to mess with anything anymore. I mean, and you don't even have to worry about getting shut down on Amazon or none of that stuff people are scared about because now you're supplying Amazon. They're the ones dealing with everything now.
We would love to be bought out by Amazon. We make good money right now doing what we're doing, but if we got bought out by Amazon, I
had a product that Amazon
I would definitely take a vacation.
Yeah, that is the goal.
Yeah, because they're going to offer you a lot of money. So.
Oh, we're still at 47 reviews, so we've been averaging about 50 for the night, so I'm proud that we're keeping everybody entertained and informed. Anything, questions or comments that you need to relay, Sean? Not that they can't see. I know they like to talk in their chats too.
No, didn't see any in there.
Okay, well, you're getting a question. Someone said, "Sorry, you can tell us. We won't tell anyone." I don't know what exactly.
Oh, they're talking about the cool clothes pads.
Oh, have you talked to a China manufacturer about those yet?
I have not. I keep thinking I should. That's a pretty cool name, but you know.
Pretty sure you should. You should have them like menthol or something so they're cooling.
Cherry flavored.
Oh God.
Oops, wrong channel. Sorry. Sorry, Chris.
It's okay. Well, we're getting near the end. That's why we got another half hour, 28 minutes. Unless they want to go a little longer since they were a little late, but I'm not going to push it. I don't know what they have.
How dare you be 5 minutes late?
Yeah, I'm just saying, look, I don't know how many big questions that viewers still may have, so we have done 3-hour shows before. It's up to the guests.
Cool.
I don't have any more questions.
Some are so Bolo crazy. Sorry, what is a Bolo? Oh, a Bolo is be on the lookout. Yeah.
Bolo.
I think Bolo's getting a little overused, though.
Yes,
See,
it is. I hate that word.
I think it was yesterday. They're like, Bolo, and it's like, I spent $5 on this and made $30, or sold it for $30. Now, that's not quite a Bolo, because then you're going to have to pay all the fees and all that, and blah, 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 you know. But
that's a pretty normal sell.
Yeah.
Do you have any Bolos? Have we found anything awesome recently that we couldn't, like, stand to not tell anybody?
Mr. Sadie, they sell their VCRs merchant fulfilled.
We do all of our VCRs merchant fulfilled. I did find a VCR the other day that I paid $6 for, and it sells for $140.
Well, you got to be careful. You got to be careful, though. Here's the thing: on Amazon, when you first start out, you're basically going by everybody else's price because you're not really looking at completed items. So if there's a lot of people and they're all around a $40 price range, and you see like the merchant fulfilled is about 30 or 25, you can pretty much look at the information and say, okay, well, yeah, that's a pretty realistic price, $40 on FBA. But sometimes you get those items to where you look them up and you go, oh, it's $180. And there's one or two people selling them at $180. It must be selling at that. And you look at the rank and you're going, the rank's pretty good too, so they must be selling at that. Well, it's really easy to get misinformation by looking at that, because what if the rank is good because there was a bunch of other people that come in all the time and they put theirs at $50 and it sells. And that one person always stays at $180. And they never sell theirs at $180. But every time somebody lists it at $50, it sells. Well, you're not going to see that. You're just seeing $180, so you put yours at $180 and you keep wondering why yours never sells. Well, you got to look at the Camel website on that item and look at the history of the item for used, as long as they have a history on that item, and see what price range has it been. And if there's a bunch of them that were always around 60, 50, 60, 70, and every now and then there's that one that's at 180, chances are you're probably not going to sell it at 180. You're probably going to be a lot more realistic and put your price around 70, 60, 50, and then people will buy it. So you have to really know how to do your research.
You know what?
Can't just base it off of what other people have.
We are selling that VCR for $140 freaking dollars.
Yeah, so shut up.
You're wrong.
But we have sold VCRs at some ridiculous prices. It's pretty amazing. I mean, something that I get a lot, and every time I see it, I get real excited, is old software, like operating systems, Office, Microsoft Office, old Microsoft, like
95, Windows 95.
Not really 95, but like, old operating systems, Microsoft operating systems, Windows ME upgrade, in the box with the numbers on the back, Macintosh like Mac Leopard 10.5, any of those old softwares. With the Microsoft ones, they usually have a key in there, and you can call Microsoft and ask them how many more devices can this be activated on. As long as they still offer support on it, they'll tell you that, for Office, a lot of times you can put them on 3 computers. So a lot of times they'll tell you can put this on 2 more computers. So then you can't list it on Amazon, but you can list it on eBay. And you can put in your listing, you can list this on 2 more computers. We called Microsoft and confirmed. And people will buy a lot of that Microsoft Office in a heartbeat for like $90, $100.
Because they're going to install it on one computer, then resell it.
Yeah, because they can install it on one computer, and then they can resell it for about the same price.
Nice. Yeah, good idea. Wow.
But you can call Microsoft and confirm that the license key is valid. And with a lot of the Macintosh, as long as the disk and everything looks good, you can sell those for 50, 40, 50, 60 bucks. I just listed one for 50 bucks, and it'll probably be gone, within. And it sells fast. Stuff sells really fast.
Okay, I see 2 more questions. I know there's probably more, but these ones were passed. Did you do anything specific for the 4th quarter as far as increasing certain types of inventory?
Nope. We just list like normal. A lot of people stock up for 4th quarter. We just list year-round.
Yeah, I didn't. I know a lot of the retail arbitrage people, they really do. And for their type of business, I can understand why they do that. But I'm not really getting into the retail arbitrage so much. I'm focusing more on the private labeling than the retail arbitrage. There's just more profit in it. and less work. But I guess if you're doing retail arbitrage, a lot of those people will focus on toys, things like that. And, they make a lot of money.
I'm gonna get to it. And Tinker's Row Retail wanted to know: do you carry any seasonal inventory?
We've looked into seasonal private label products, but as far as
when we go picking, we
do.
like right now when we see Christmas stuff, we get it. Now after Christmas, we don't touch it. Unless I want to hold on to it all year long. Wait until Christmas. I have bought certain things on clearance before. Like right when spring and summer hits, a lot of times you'll see like cold winter jackets and snow boots and all that kind of stuff. You'll see it at like 75–80% off. If you got the money to spend and you're willing to wait, you'll be able to sell that stuff when it starts getting cold. Which I have a whole bunch of jackets that I need to list this week that I got on clearance when the warm weather started coming. And I picked them up for like $4 or $5 a piece, and they're like $100 jackets. So that kind of stuff we do, because as long as you have the space to store it. We also pick up a lot of electric blanket controllers year-round, and you don't sell them that often throughout the summer and the warmer months because people don't even pay attention. They don't even know that they need it. Now, once it starts getting cold, you'll see the price of those jump. They'll go $20, $30 for an electric blanket controller, and they'll sell quick in the colder seasons. So there is certain things that we'll get, and we'll just kind of hold on to them and wait until it's the right season to sell them.
Okay. See anything else, Sean?
No.
Well, we got about 19 minutes left, so get those questions in. I want to thank them again for showing up. They were busy. Everybody's wondering where you've been. So, as one of our viewers said before you showed up, they're like, Chris, I can't wait till you resurrected Gillmoney's.
No reservation needed. We're just taking a break.
Yeah. We're just
We've been busy.
Next video, I'm going to kind of do a tour of the warehouse. I've been installing, I like to tinker. If you ever seen my peanut bag, I like building stuff like that, like coming up with going to Home Depot and buying stuff and making things work. And the warehouse really, it just gave me a whole bunch of different stuff that I wanted to do. I wanted to create this and make that, and I made that shrink wrap station. It's working awesome. I can shrink wrap stuff really fast now because I made this whole station with the whole shrink wrap thing, and I'll show that on my next video.
Cool.
But yeah, different things, paper dispenser and just ways to really make everything flow a lot nicer and save you time.
Efficiency, yeah, definitely a plus. Something I lack.
I see a Poplar Picker said he bought a bunch of Ray's Anatomy scrubs for a couple bucks each. They go for 34 with tags. So, and the rank was 2,000.
Think Grey's Anatomy though?
I think so.
You said Grey's Anatomy? Is that what
I
you
don't
said?
think he's unless he's approved for the 25 and over, I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
A lot of that stuff you can't sell on Amazon.
Might be able to sell it on eBay.
You can sell it on eBay, but on eBay you're only going to get like $5, $10 a season on those kind of things. Like I said, unless you're approved to sell that kind of stuff on Amazon, but normally the seasons of shows you can't sell on Amazon because of all the bootlegs.
Okay.
Desert Seller Watch says, walking picker, great hosting, and chat interaction. What am I, chopped liver?
Thanks, Desert Square. I say all the time, I can't do the show without Sean's help, or Kristen when she's here.
Yeah.
They keep an eye on the comments for me, too. It's not just me.
What sort of books do you guys look for, and how many do you currently have listed?
Books?
Yeah.
We don't do too many books.
We do books, but we don't do a lot of books. There's only certain situations to where I'll do books.
We'll get books from the Weigh and Pay if they're there.
Yeah, if I go to the Weigh and Pay and I see boxes of books, there's just a few things I look for. First of all, if they're fiction books, I don't even look at them.
Yeah.
If there's a lot of non-fiction books in it, I'll look at them. But if there's price tags on them, I won't look at them. Because if there's price tags on them, that means they were probably already in the thrift store, and they've probably already been scanned through. And I've done it before, and that's why I don't do it anymore, because I'll start scanning and I won't find nothing. You know, it's just a big waste of time. If I go to yard sales and I see certain weird books like...
We do good at yard sales.
Yeah, because they'll have weird books, you know, like...
College books.
Well, yeah, we've made a lot of money on college books, especially from yard sales. But, you know, weird recipe books like Jamaican recipes or something weird like that. Those kind of things usually sell pretty good. So it just really depends on the types of books that are there. But I sent in, I don't send in a lot. Like every time I do like a whole bunch of FBA shipments, I'm probably only sending in like maybe 10 to 20 books. But there's not a lot of book sales around us. I mean, they have them from time to time. But if somebody wants to really get into books and make a lot of money, from what I've seen,
you've got to be in the right area for it.
If you're in the right area and they got a lot of book sales around you, that's the place to go, to where you can fill a bag for like $5-10. You know, you're going to be able to go through and scan and make a bunch of money off those kind of things.
Okay, let's see.
How much do you work, and what do you do for fun?
That's what I was just about to read.
Oh.
Yeah, do for fun.
We drink.
And drink, and no, I'm just kidding.
We dress up like zombies. No.
That was awesome, by the way.
As far as work goes, we generally leave the house at about 9 in the morning, except for recently because we had some killer snowstorms and we've just not been going as early because it's super icy out. But we generally leave about 9 in the morning, and I get home at 2 or 3, depending on what day of the week it is, because that's when the kids get out of school. And then he will generally be home by about 6 to 7 o'clock.
Like I said before, it depends on how long I want to stay. Usually once she leaves, I just kind of take it easy. Like I said, turn some music on.
He doesn't work very hard, but he works.
I'll grab a beer, you know,
what the hell?
get back.
Well, at the same time, if you're working consistently, too, that works, too. So
Yeah.
you don't necessarily have to work hard.
But I mean, a lot of times we just try to spend time with the kids. You know, we go to movies with them and try to, you know, we have lots of birthdays and stuff we're always going to, it seems like, and just hanging out with friends and things like that. I really enjoy working, to be honest with you.
Yes, and it drives me insane.
It's so much more fun to work now that I have the warehouse. I mean, because we got like a nice kitchen area set up. You know, I got the Sirius satellite radio. I can put some Howard Stern on.
By the way, the Sirius satellite, yeah, he wanted to sell that. It has a lifetime membership. Lifetime subscription. I got it at a thrift store for $10.
I can sell it for about 180, but we've just been using it because I like to listen to Howard Stern. And
Heck yeah.
It's just a lot more fun now that I have the warehouse, because if I want to kick back in there, I can, and I'm kind of away. You know, it's more of it becomes more of a hobby. It's kind of nice, peaceful time to get away from the house and stuff.
I just wanted to say, answer Tom Huck's question, what is a weigh and pay? It has to do with Goodwill. We did do a couple weeks ago, we had an episode of our show covering it with Alex from Picking Las Vegas. So if you look back in my channel, you should see it, and hopefully you can get some information there.
Well, we have a lot of.
I think. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say we have a lot of videos on our channel where we go out to the weigh and pays and we pick up stuff. But basically, it's not just Goodwills. There's other thrift stores that do it, but there is a lot of Goodwills around the country that do it. But it's by the pound. You purchase 20 pounds, it's this price. You purchase 40 pounds, it's this price. If you have 50 pounds, they're all different pricing. Sometimes they'll charge you a different price for clothes. Sometimes they'll charge you a different price for shoes. And then other times they have big items like couches and washing machines that they'll put like $5 or $10 on. And you can buy the big stuff by the price. But it's basically a lot of junk. But there's a lot of treasure in that junk. And there's a lot of, and that's kind of why we sell a lot of the types of things we sell on eBay, because we find like cords to stuff, like a cord to a deep fryer, where they don't have the deep fryer, so they throw it at the weigh and pay, but I can grab that cord and sell it for 15, 20 bucks because somebody needs the cord to their deep fryer. So you find a lot of parts to things because a lot of the other parts that are there are broken. That's why they're at the weigh and pay, because the thrift stores can't sell them. But you do find a lot of very sellable stuff too, not just parts. Some, just like when you're at a thrift store, you probably miss some things. The employees miss some things too. They throw it at the weigh and pay, and it's actually really valuable. So it's kind of like digging for treasure.
Yeah, sure. It's fun.
Okay. Well, I think this is a joke on Sean's expense, but I'll read it anyway.
Do I like
Captain Morgan?
Yeah. Captain Morgan got me in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Yes, it did.
Damn it. Damn Captain.
John on Captain Morgan likes me a lot.
Apparently I like inanimate objects too. So,
Yes.
I mean,
He likes lamp,
apparently I liked everything.
and side tables.
Oh, what? Wow.
Laundry baskets.
Oh, shit. Now, see? And
Yeah, I'm doing the whole no shave November. That's why I've got the beard going on right now. I did it last year. I said I wasn't going to do it this year, but she kept telling me I had to, so I did it.
Okay. Whatever. What else you get? 8 minutes. Well, I got another question from One Cheap Dad. He has a couple boxes of old magazines back to the 1980s, Soldier of Fortune, and Vietnam magazines to sell, if you have an idea.
Look them up.
That's all I can say is look
We
them up.
don't do much for magazines. The only magazine I ever even look for is the Marilyn Monroe Playboy.
yeah.
Yeah, you can sell them. I know you can. The reason why I don't sell a lot of magazines is your more recent ones don't sell for a lot. Some of the older ones you can sell, but a lot of times they're very long tail items on a lot of the magazines that I've seen. Like I've known people that's all they do is magazines and pictures and whatever, but you have to pretty much have a ton of that kind of stuff to really make a sustainable income every single month on them. Because you'll have a magazine listed and it might take 7-8 months to sell, for a top dollar. I mean, you could probably blow them out and make like $1 or something a piece, depending if they're even wanted. But most people price them at, a $15, $20 price point, and they just kick back and wait, and hopefully one day somebody will go on there and buy it. Just like old yearbooks. I found some old yearbooks.
And I tried to get him to buy them, and he wouldn't.
I wouldn't buy them because, well, it was at the weigh and pay. It wouldn't have cost me much anyways, but I was like, I don't want these yearbooks sitting around for a year. And yeah, you could sell them, and you could probably get a pretty good amount of money if the right person came along looking for that yearbook from that year, because a lot of times they already have the signatures of people they knew, and they'll pay a premium price point. They'll pay $100 for a yearbook, but the chances of that one person from that school coming along and actually figuring out, hey, I'm going to look on eBay and see if I can find one, and then searching for it and buying it, it's kind of slim. So you're going to be sitting on that kind of stuff for a long time.
Do you see anything, Sean, since I started taking over your job?
Jeff Davidson said, in San Diego, if it doesn't sell, they throw it to Tijuana. Mr. Sadie said he got a free Sirius XM for like 6 months. It only cost him $42K for the truck that it came with.
Oh my god.
Yeah, if you ever see those Sirius radios, though, just keep in mind that a lot of times at the thrift stores you can plug them in. See if it has an active subscription on it, and a lot of times people will sell them on there saying lifetime subscription ? And then you don't know, because if you call Sirius and say, hi, I was wondering if this radio has a lifetime
They
subscription.
shut it down right now.
They'll shut it off because they'll know that you're not the original purchaser of the lifetime subscription, and they want you to pay them. Lifetime subscription is only valid to the original purchaser.
And they don't
of the
offer it
radio.
anymore.
They don't offer it. So if you call and ask, does this have a lifetime subscription? They'll shut it off because they'll say, oh, well, you weren't the original person, so we're turning it off. So when you sell them, you just put ? And just say what you know. Just say it has Howard Stern, it has all these radio stations, and it's been going for a month or 2 months or whatever you know about it. And most of the time, people will pay, a couple $100, $180, $170 for a Sirius radio that has a potential lifetime subscription.
Mm.
But ours has been going for about 8 months, so I'm pretty sure it does have a lifetime subscription.
Sweet. Yeah. Sounds like it.
We'll find out here within the next 4 or 5 months or so.
Yeah.
Okay, let's. Well, I want to thank everybody for being here. I'm not shutting down, but it's getting close. If there's anything that you guys want to promote besides the Reseller Society group, this will be a good time for you.
Gillmoney.com. We have our recommended supplies there that help a lot of people. We've had a lot of people go through them.
And we are coming out with a training program eventually. It's going to take a lot of time. I mean, we had a lot of stuff go on this month, and we're working with Ronnie Hart and also Autominos and Jesse Forbes on it. And we're just putting it together. I mean, what you got to remember is if we throw something together really fast,
it's going to be shit.
It's not going to be good. So we really want to take our time with this. And you just really got to keep in mind that, fast food isn't good and good food isn't fast. So that's
so true.
I mean, but eventually we will be talking more about that as we get closer to getting it all accomplished and finished. It's going to be a big training course on eBay only. We're doing only eBay right now. I don't know what the future will bring. It's a lot of work, but we're working on it.
Well, I know I saw one question up there already. Somebody asked how it was going, or if you could talk about it. So there you go.
Is it FBA focused, or is it seller focused, or?
This is eBay only. We're thinking about an FBA one afterwards if this one's successful.
Cool.
But at this point right now, this one is purely going to be eBay.
Right.
Sweet.
But also, of course, the Reseller Society, we're doing a giveaway this month that is...
scanner, the clicker.
Well, yeah, it's a scan fob, a Bluetooth scan fob.
And it actually ends tomorrow.
It is tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, it ends tomorrow.
As long as you didn't change it. I had it set up.
Well, if you go into the Reseller Society, you look at events, it'll show the contest, it'll tell you what you need to do to win it, and it's a brand new scan fob. It'll be sent to you from Amazon, and it's valued about $130, so it's a nice little prize for somebody that needs one of those Bluetooth scanners to help them with FBA.
Cool.
Okay, any last minute questions
Oh.
before we start saying our goodbyes? And I don't see any.
Nope, they're all pretty much talking to each other.
You're going to sleep.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jason, I like food as well.
I like food. Somebody should send me some free food. I like food. I like presents.
Alberto says, I don't like fast food, but the fast food likes me. Mm-hmm. You forget who's here in the room here, buddy.
I give Alberto stink faces all the time at the food that he sends. So he should know by now. I have gotten on him enough. He knows what good food is.
Yeah.
I think he'd die if he ate a salad or something.
No, I convinced him to eat salad for like a week one time.
Oh, did you? Wow, pretty good. He's like, I'm eating chicken, it's like deep fried. Really?
I'm eating salad, it's instant ranch.
Yeah.
Bad Alberto. With
I'm having lettuce with my ranch. What are you talking about?
Oh my God, we went to a pizza salad bar thing yesterday. Was it yesterday?
I think so.
And
CC's.
the people that were sitting behind us, they ate salad, and you could totally tell they were all like thinking they were eating healthy and stuff. But when they were eating, like the plates are like this deep, and it was like this full of ranch.
Oh God.
The plate, and I was like, oh, how do you eat that?
It's like salad, like salad cereal, you know.
Wow.
Well, I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to promote that next week we are having, well, for the next 2 weeks we're having Dana Crawford in. Next week she's going to be on for Black Friday, and then the following week after that is for consignment. And then next month we will be having a Christmas party / meet and greet combo, since Christmas Eve is on a Wednesday night. So just letting everybody know about that ahead of time. So thanks for watching. Sean, have anything to say?
Thanks for watching.
That's it?
That's it.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
We love you, bitches!
Go out and make money, and just remember, if you want your life to change, you have to do something to change it. Everything happens because of one decision. Decisions is what makes change. So go out there and make
some money.
Thanks again, Dave and Sarah.
Thanks for having us.
Heck yeah, thanks. Cool.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.